Hello everybody, this is Renaissance Craft, and today I'm going to show you a quick video on how to draw the face from the straight on view. So what you're going to start with is just a cross straight down the middle from each other, one vertical and one horizontal, and then you're going to add an egg shape upside down with the most narrow point down at the bottom and the widest point up at the top, and it's dissecting in both places right in the middle. So horizontally in the middle of the egg and vertically in the middle of the egg. And then about halfway down from the halfway horizontal point, you're going to add another horizontal line. And then about halfway down from that, you're going to add another horizontal line. So from the second horizontal line, you're going to add halfway from that point to this point, you're going to add another horizontal line. Then you're going to go ahead and add some measurements. So you're going to add in 5 eyes. So you start with the middle eye here, and the middle eye will be dead center from the halfway point horizontal and the halfway point vertical. So you add that eye right in the middle. You add 2 secondary eyes, which will actually be your eye, and then you add 2 eyes on the end. Now, to get that, you can measure it out, or as we show in a minute, that. From there, from the end of the first eye to the beginning of the 2 middle eyes, you add a straight line down vertically on both sides, and that is where your nose will be. So just add a little triangle there. That creates your nose. Now halfway through the middle eyes, you add another line down to the very last horizontal line, and that will give you where your mouth ends. So then you add a little bit of detail here, and you're going to add in the mouth. Like I said before, it ends where the middle of the eyes are. You add the actual eye shapes about halfway up and halfway down. You can add the nose shape using the triangle as your base, and it ends between the end of the inner eye on both sides and the beginning of the middle eyes. Now, the ear will actually end at the brow line. I ended it at the eye line just for ease of not adding another line. But the brow line is about either the vertical length of one eye up or about a half eye up, depending on the person. And it would typically end right there. And then what you're going to do is, after all that is drawn in, you have the proportions and the detail. Now the jaw typically curves up right around where the mouth is, so you're going to get your greatest curve up. Your cheekbone usually ends about where the nose ends, and your eyebrows, your hairline is about 1/3 of the way down from the halfway point. So if the halfway point is the middle of the eyes, you go up, you show 1/3 sections. It's going to start about 2/3 of the way up from the eye, or 1/3 of the way up from the top of the crown. And then everything else can vary depending, but that is the basic how you draw a basic face. Now we will go ahead and draw it for you. We're going to do this all freehand. Most likely that's the way you'll do it anyways. I'm actually going to use a 2B pencil just so it's easier to see. I would suggest to do it lighter. Use a 2H or an H or whatever you choose to do. So here we go. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw those lines. So I created a little cross here, and then right in the middle of those I am going to create my egg. So remember, the widest part is at the top and the most narrow part is at the bottom. Now we got that, and that's right in the middle. So you have your widest part here. Now remember, I'm making this darker, and as you can see how I'm just scribbling around. That way when it's light, you can pick the best line. You can say, oh, okay, I want this line here, this here. This is more, should be more here. Okay. Now, we have to, just so it's a little easier to distinguish. Now about halfway down, so about right there, we're going to add another line. And then about halfway down from that, we're going to add another line. And that gives your basic face. Now we're going to add an eye right in the middle. And I'm just guesstimating here. So that's the first eye, second eye, and third eye. Or second, third, fourth, fifth eye. Okay. So you have all your eyes here. They're all slightly different, but it doesn't matter. You get the basic proportions. Now here you're going to go down at the end of those two eyes, right in the middle, right in the middle. So we're going to create the brow line, which I didn't do in the other thing. So it's just right up there. The nose is going to end here, so you can add the ear here. And then you can add the little triangle here for the nose. And we'll actually bring this up a little bit. I think I didn't do it quite halfway. So halfway, halfway. Now we can add the mouth. So we have the mouth. We have the basic eye here. We have the basic nose here. You can add the brow here. Hairline here. About 1/3 of the way down, as you can see. So now we're going to add detail. So I'm going to, just so you can see it a little bit, just erase this, just a smidge. All right. So now I'm going to put the eye in. All right. I'm going to add the nose here. And I'm going to put this eye here. And it should be about the same size as that. Add a little bit of detail. Okay. Now we have the mouth here, so go ahead and add the mouth. Add that. The jawline, remember, it's going to go to about there and come up. That there. And it's going to go up. Still have that. Maybe add a little bit of that. We'll add a little bit of a cheek. A little bit of a cheek. And you got the eye. You still have the ear here. We'll make the hair go here. So we'll add a little bit of that. So now you have the basic face, as you can see. Obviously, this isn't realistic. You know, some of the proportions of an actual face might vary, but this is how to get the basic proportions without variances, the so-called proportional ideal. Now, this isn't right or wrong, but if you add a little bit of shade into it, you can start to see, you know, it come into life. It's still not going to look perfect or, you know, real, but it will start to give it some life, and you can start to see, you know, that something as simple as this can start to form a realistic or at least character type face. So, you know, it's not perfect, but this gets you at least started on how to draw the basic face, and from there you can, you know, skew the proportions, add different things, do different things, but this is your very basic. And the last thing here, the neck will start where the ears are, inside where the jaw is, or even sometimes a little bit further in. So the neck, depending on the person, how thin they are, how big they are, how long or how short their neck is, will vary between one of those three places. Other than that, I hope that this helped you a little bit. If you need any more information or you would like me to go into more detail, I'm going to do a longer video. But this is the basics. I am Renaissance Craft, and thank you for watching.